Well, hello and welcome to episode 9 of Making Minds. In this particular episode, I'm going to get a little bit deeper into what a mind is, and I'm going to open up with a somewhat controversial statement. I believe that a much more powerful new kind of life has been born in the earth in the last 100 years. And this new kind of life is much smarter than we are, it's much bigger than we are, it has a much greater lifespan than any human, and in almost any way is more powerful, more conscious, more sensitive, more everything than any person. Now, of course, the obvious retort is, well, if this is true, then where are these things? And I will reveal that I believe that corporations are in fact a new kind of life. And specifically, let's just take NASA. So I believe that NASA is a living, conscious thing. I think it has a mind and a body, it has values, it has a personality, it has goals, it has senses, all the things that we normally ascribe to an individual human. And in the next episode, I'm actually going to go into a little bit of detail about why I believe all these various things. But the interesting question is, if that's true, if NASA really is a new kind of life, then why doesn't anyone think that? I mean, very few people do. And I think the answer is that we tend to ascribe things like consciousness and life, the things that are like us. That's just kind of the way we think. So if I meet another person in the street and they're just like me, I'm going to say, yeah, they're alive and they're conscious. And the further that thing gets from being like me, the less likely I am to ascribe it those kind of qualities. So I personally think, for example, that a cat is conscious, but there's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people who do not think that lower animals really are conscious creatures. So naturally, if you look at something like NASA doesn't have, 4 legs and a face and fur. And I can't really have a conversation, can't sit down and have a beer with NASA. And so as far as we're concerned, we can see that NASA is there, and we can even work for NASA. We can be part of NASA. But we don't normally think about these things as being conscious, living beings. And in some respects, it's not a perfect analogy. It's a bit like a neuron and a brain. So a neuron is part of a brain, but a neuron doesn't know that it's part of a brain. But a brain can think about neurons. Neurons can't think about brains. And I think in the same respect, a being like NASA is invisible to us because we're so much smaller. We're really just one little piece of an organism like a corporation. So in the next episode, I'm going to dig deeper into the parts of a mind, but instead of doing, amateur neurosurgery and talking about a human mind, I'm actually going to do a kind of surgery on the mind of NASA. So I look forward to seeing you in episode 10.